Hare Krishna. Welcome to my Radha Mother channel. This is Sidhu here. I'm very happy to be associating with you all after some little gap of my last video. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'm very thankful to each one of you for giving your wonderful, valuable comments and feedbacks. And today's topic of discussion is going to be learning to love Sri Krishna. Okay? I'm sure you're going to enjoy this topic very much. And let me start with a small introduction prayer and let us go on to the topic. Hare Krishna. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschadyadeshatarini. Hare Krishna. So I would like to start today's topic what is love? We have all been, almost daily hearing this love, love. We all know the basic principle of the living condition is that we have a general propensity to love someone. No one can live without, loving someone else. So this propensity is present in every living being. Even an animal like a tiger has this loving propensity, at least in a dormant stage, and it's certainly present in the human beings as well. The missing point, however, is where to repose our love so that everyone can become happy. At the present moment, the human society teaches us to love his family, his country, his personal self, but there's no information where to repose this loving propensity so that everyone can become happy. So now we need to understand here that missing point is Krishna. So you can all wonder, how is that missing point Krishna? Because Prabhupada has quoted in almost all his lectures, in his articles, everything, Prabhupada says there is no love in this material world. That is a false propaganda. What they call love here is lust only, or desire for personal sense gratification. The so-called love here means that you gratify my senses, I will gratify your senses, and as soon as that gratification stops, immediately there is a divorce, there is a separation, there is a quarrel, and there is a hatred. And so many things are going on under this false conception of love. So Srila Prabhupada says actual love means the love of God. Krishna. It's also given in a beautiful Science of Self-Realization book by Srila Prabhupada. So Prabhupada often says, love is all we need, Even if you take the example of a husband and wife who love Krishna the most, they feel the natural affection for each other. And due to their relation for Krishna, and even when the going gets tough, all these things, negative things happen, their love doesn't quit. They don't give up on each other at all. So that is the speciality, Prabhupada beautifully says. Yeah. So now, when we love Krishna, we experience the bliss of his love and devotion, isn't it? We try our best to get back to him. But how to fall in love with him? So you all must be wondering. I know love cannot be forced. It happens naturally. How does he fall in love with Krishna? Because attraction just gives a kind of temporary longing and need of devotion. But it does not remain permanent. It fades away, isn't it? We all know that. And Maya catches hold of us. So we must first try to understand love itself comes from Krishna. So Krishna is love and love is Krishna. So Krishna loves all of us, and that is why he accepts even the most serious of the sinners if they truly surrender to him. And it's also beautifully given in chapter 9, 30th verse. Krishna says, Api chet suduracharo bhajate mam ananyavak sadur eva samantavyah samyak vyavasito hi saha. Its meaning is that he accepts even the most serious of the sinners when they surrender to him. That merciful is Shri Krishna for all of us. So let's see a small example on this, like how a girl falls in love with a boy. Okay, so let us compare these with loving Krishna. There are some 10 steps. Okay, so what the girl does, she first hears about or sees a boy, right? And second, what she does, she watches his action, speech. And third, she finds something special in him. And then she likes to speak to him, and he's looking for opportunities. And number 5, when an opportunity comes, that boy speaks to her and exposes all his qualities. And 6th, when she ascertains that he has the thing that she prefers. And the 7th step, she discusses with him and then develop an enchanting feeling that it is safe to love him. Okay, and 8th, then she starts to love him. And 9th, then she likes to retain him forever and likes to be with him. So she takes, all these efforts to achieve that. So she talks to her parents and seeks their support to ensure that she marries him at the earliest, right? And the last 10th step is, after sincere attempt, she she unites with him in marriage and lives until she dies with him. So this is what happens in a love between a boy and a girl. I'm sure you'll all agree to this. So the same steps applies in loving Krishna also. How? So now we can match these 10 steps with the above 10 points and see. First we hear. What we hear and come to know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? And number 2, what we do, we watch his lectures, we listen to his lectures, we watch his videos, we read his books, etc. About Krishna for a certain period. In a meeting, we go to the temple and we get to know more and more about Krishna. And thirdly, what we do after watching all these, we find Krishna is very unique and he is supreme among all the gods. Then we like to interact with him and we are seeking ways and means of doing it. And number 5, we learn various sadhanas and we learn various devotional practices. We learn so many things. We serve him. And Krishna too notes all these, He notes all these and he notes our sadhanas. And because of a sincere sadhanas, Krishna starts to show his mercy and gradually a bond develops between us, between you and Krishna. And to show his mercy, and this what happens is gradually develops a faith in us on Krishna. And the next step, 7th step, because of the sincere and continuous sadhanas and faithful approach, Krishna starts to indicate us that he is noting us and he is accepting all our dedicated offerings. So he starts to occupy our hearts. So we feel a kind of secured and blissful feeling when we consider ourselves as a follower of Krishna. Then 8th step, when we feel such secure and blissful feeling, we have developed full faith in Krishna. Love towards Krishna naturally develops. So now the 9th step, what we do, we like to always be with Krishna and start to take steps to achieve him permanently. How? So we get a support of a bona fide master and the senior Vaishnavas and other devotees who will help us to achieve Krishna's love in a relatively short period. The last and the 10th step, because of our sincere efforts and with as I said, with the support of the other devotees and the spiritual master, we achieve Krishna in this birth itself so that we can feel in our hearts. And after leaving our body, we actually reach the spiritual world, the Krishna's abode. We tend to, where we are with Krishna face to face and be eternally with him. That's all. So we follow these 10 steps. Anyone can love Krishna if they follow this. Follow it sincerely, right? So, my dear friends and devotees, this process, I would like to say that it's not just a mere, academic or mechanical. It should be spontaneous and natural, without much artificial efforts. Because we as the Atma, we have the natural affinity for Krishna. No, it's natural. So due to our material attachments, we do not have that feeling. We do not have that feeling for him. So when we come out of them, so gradually love for Krishna also comes out naturally and spontaneously. So this is the stage of prema, right? So this is what is expected from all of us. So when we realize that only Shri Krishna is our eternal relation, so we go to him closer and closer, more and more. So the important point to remember here is that, my dear friends and devotees, unless we develop a faith in a person, the love cannot blossom. The same applies to loving Krishna also. We should have that firm conviction and faith in the Lord. Also remember that there may be many selfish motives in many cases of human love, but there is no selfishness in the love for Krishna. The humans' love and its relations can end in failure, but loving Krishna never fails and continues forever and ever, even after we go back to his kingdom. So I hope you have understood what I was trying to say here, how to develop the love for Krishna strongly and permanently, right? And also Krishna beautifully says in the 9th chapter, right? He says, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachime tad aham bhaktya uparitam asnami prayatat manaha. It's a very easy process to attract me or get my mercy. Like, just anyone offers a small leaf, flower, fruit, I'm easily, what to say, impressed by them. That is all I need. Only that it's not that, Krishna doesn't need any food or anything from us. He just needs that loving devotion, and in which mood we surrender to him, right? So I'm sure I have, so we have to try to love Krishna. So I would just like to conclude, the today's speech by saying that everyone wants love, but they are being frustrated. Why? Because this love is being misplaced. The people do not understand it. They are being taught, first of all, love your body, and then a little extended, they say love your father, and then love your mother, then love your brother, sister, then love your society, country, then the whole humanity. But all these extended so-called love will not give you satisfaction unless you reach the point of loving Krishna. Then you will be satisfied, right? A very beautiful analogy also, Prabhupada keeps quoting. If you love a tree, then you love the leaves, its flowers, its branches, its, trunk, twigs, everything. If you simply pour water on the root, then your loving tree will automatically serve all the parts of the tree. So actually, if you want to love everything, then try to love Krishna. Then you will never be frustrated ever in your life, because that kind of love is complete and full. So when your love is complete and full, then you will never be frustrated, because that kind of love is, it's like completely fed, like after you're having a full meals, how you are satisfied and don't want anything more. So like that. So my dear friends and devotees, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has appeared, 5,000 years ago, to teach us that Lord Krishna is the right person to love, to worship. He also says, Aradhyo Bhagavan Vrajeshya Tanayah, means if you want to worship Krishna, right? And he says, Tad Dhamam Vrindavanam. If you want to love someone, then love Krishna or worship Krishna or his place Vrindavan, And a very great example can be given of the gopis, right? How they loved Krishna, how they simply thinking of Krishna is what they all were aiming for, or praying for. They were so satisfied, and they used to dress themselves very nicely, because they would think that, about going before Krishna with a nice dress, how happy he would feel to see them, So that was the mood of the gopis, right? So their love can never be there. They were the topmost devotees, you can say. And so as you can see in the image, Krishna's love is like an ocean. You can see its beginning, but the beautiful thing is that you can't see its end. It's endless, See, that is the unconditional, or what you can say, in spite of all our defects, in spite of all our shortcomings, the love Krishna has for us, which can never be, as Prabhupada says, can never be found in this material world by anyone. So when you try to love Krishna, automatically everyone, like how the tree analogy, when you water a plant in a tree, like how everything, the leaves, the parts of the tree also get nourished and loved. Similarly, when you love Krishna, everyone around you is also, satisfied and happy and loves you, right? So I would like to end my speech here, today's speech. So as you can see again in the image, when you love God, you love everything beyond illusion and doubt, right? So the human form of life is meant for developing love for Godhead, right? So there's no necessity of teaching, love your father, love your sister, love your husband, love the birds, love the other living entities, because these are all naturally they come to us, then they are natural. But what happens is that we end up getting frustrated, because why? Because this body is temporary, right? It's temporary. So therefore all the loving affairs are also temporary, and they are not pure. They are simply a perverted reflection of pure love existing between you and Krishna, right? So if you really want peace, satisfaction, and not be confused, and then you have to, the only solution is try to love Krishna. This is as simple as that. Then your life will be successful, Krishna says. So gradually you will feel for yourself, how you're making progress, in peacefulness and everything you want, right? So hope you enjoyed my today's video. So thank you. I really enjoyed it as much as you did. So catch you all with another beautiful and motivational video. Until then, happy weekend. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhayavacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you. Hare Krishna.